Hey guys, just making a quick video for you. I also saw some comments, like the one you're seeing here, that say the government will just interfere. In other words, the Federal Reserve will interfere and they will print money so the market cannot possibly go down. It will just keep going up. Let me just show you something here, because I think most people out there do not know this. Now, you know this because I've showed this before. In the 2020 pandemic crash, in the COVID crash, the markets kept dropping despite the fact the Federal Reserve kept intervening. As you can see it here, the stock market dropped even though the Federal Reserve intervened. It just kept dropping again. By the way, when the Federal Reserve intervened on March 15th, the stock market had one of its biggest drops in history, and it just crashed even further.
Stocks on Wall Street plummeted again this morning. The Dow Jones Industrials fell more than 9%, almost 10%, which means trading was automatically stopped for 15 minutes. This follows the Federal Reserve's surprise decision yesterday to slash interest rates.
Most people only remember this intervention here, and they just think, oh yeah, that's why the market's bottom, because the Federal Reserve intervened. What they don't appreciate is, by that time, by March 23rd, pretty much everybody, including money managers, had panicked and sold. So when there's no more sellers in the market, what do you think happens? Then the market bottoms and then goes up. Let me show you another example. In the year 2008, in the major recessionary crash, when the markets crashed by 50%, guess what? The government and the Federal Reserve intervened several times, as you can see here. And the markets just kept going down and down despite government intervention and despite the Federal Reserve printing money and intervening. Oh, and let me show you this. Sometimes people will use the opposite argument as well. They will say something like, oh, well, the market cannot go up because the Federal Reserve is tightening, doing QT. But look at this. You will see in the year 2022, in October 2022, the markets bottomed, the stock market bottomed there, and then rallied despite the fact that the Federal Reserve was doing tightening and they were raising interest rates. So just get that for a moment. The exact opposite happened to what many people out there were saying, that in fact the markets bottomed and rallied higher despite the fact that the Federal Reserve was tightening and they were raising interest rates. And by the way, the markets continued to go higher despite the fact that the Federal Reserve continued tightening and they refused to cut interest rates. It's only after the Federal Reserve then cut interest rates that we saw one of the biggest drops in the stock market in the last few years. So guys, the next time you hear someone out there say that, oh, the market cannot do this and the market cannot do that because of the Federal Reserve and that nonsense, show them this video. The truth is, guys, that this idea that the Federal Reserve controls and drives the stock market is simply nonsense. It's the other way around. People have it backwards. The truth is that it's the stock market that drives the Federal Reserve decisions. The Federal Reserve is subservient to the market. The market drives their decisions.
People who are fixated on this idea that it has to be the news and Federal Reserve that makes the market bottom, rally, and all that. What is your view? What I believe is the correct view?
It is that the Federal Reserve has no control over the waves of social mood, but waves of social mood have a lot of control over the way people view the Fed. Yeah. So when mood is positive and stock prices are high and the economy is expanding, they say, oh, these Fed chairmen are geniuses. And we had that. And when the markets are a little bit dicey, suddenly people are saying, this chairman doesn't know what he's doing.
Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you think. I'll be interested to hear your views. And by the way, guys, don't forget that myself and Charlie Burton are doing an online educational course on trading and technical analysis. And to get the early bird discount, just go to this link you see here, which is also in the description. Okay, thank you very much indeed. See you guys in the next video update. Cheers.